Well, welcome back to my video. This is going to be part 2 of my uh, new movies that I've gotten in recently. We'll kind of go ahead. The last time I said I was going to go into the TV sets. I do have I do have some DVDs I want to show you here. Here's just some regular DVDs. Let's get into it. This is a multi-discer. This is a multi-movie double feature. This is The Deadly Companions and Proud Rebel. Alan Ladd, Maureen O'Hara. I can't remember why I bought this one. I think it was probably... I don't remember which one I bought this for, to be perfectly honest with you. They both look pretty good. They look excellent. Did I not show you guys? I apologize. There you go. There's the Proud Rebel and the Deadly Companions. They both look pretty good, actually. This almost looks like a double feature that you'd find on Laserdisc. It kind of looks like that kind of cover they have. This is The Boy with the Green Hair. This is a archive Warner Brothers collection. I believe this is a made-on-demand disc. This is a World War II movie. It's about a orphan kid, and it's kind of about orphan kids during World War II, and I guess it's kind of a metaphor for the situation these kids were in. And they one of the kid's hair turns green in this, and he's like ostracized about it. And it's good. It's a good movie, but I apologize about my explanation of it. It's just I don't feel like reading the back of it to you because that's boring, and maybe I'll do a proper review for it one of these days. Excuse me, my nose started itching there. This is Cheech and Chong, Still Smoking. I own all the Cheech and Chong movies except this one for some reason on DVD. I'd realized I didn't have it. Seen it. I think I never did like it that much for some reason. Always weird. I liked it much better as an adult than I did as when I was younger. I've never really watched it. I didn't really watch them when I was in teens too much, except for Up in Smoke. I remember renting that one a bunch of times, even though I didn't smoke weed at the time. But yeah, this is it's a pretty funny movie. It's not their best. I mean, it's Cheech and Chong. It's just fun to watch. I mean, they're made for a certain purpose, and anybody knows what that purpose was for. But the reason I bring this up, the reason why I bought it too, is I kind of got pissed at a few years ago when they released Cheech and Chong's next movie. They didn't. They were supposed to, that same day this next movie came out, they were supposed to release Still Smoking on Blu-ray. And if you go to Amazon and look up Still Smoking on Blu-ray, there's a cover and everything. There's a cover and everything for Still Smoking, and it says currently not available or something. Well, the day it came out on Blu-ray, or supposed to come out, I'd pre-ordered both of them, and they only shipped next movie. And I was like, well, why did they do this? So I went to the page, and it says currently not available. And apparently they never released it. I don't know what happened, but if anybody knows the story of it, I tried to look it up on the internet a while back, and I couldn't find anything. So if anybody knows the story of why Still Smoking reasons it got pulled for, I don't know. I'd really like to know. So it's kind of an interesting story there. I seem like I got a story for every movie I bring up here, and I like talking about them too. So this is the best way I talk about them, kind of ranting on about them. And when I see the picture, it kind of lets me remember what I'm talking about. So this was the Arrested Development documentary project. It's numbered 241 to 300. I think this was on Netflix, and this is a burned disc. So. Yeah, it's a burned DVD, so it's a good documentary. And I don't know how many people out there has watched the rest of the development. It's a hilarious show. hilarious. And this is kind of the time when it came out. This is kind of it was during the Bush administration in the late early 2000s. Excuse me, the early 2000s, and it had some political stuff probably about Iraq in it, about the Iraq War, but not overtly. It was very subtle. It was subtle, at least in you know, if you were intelligent, you understood what was going on. So I always think that's why the show probably was canceled ultimately, not the viewership, even though that's what, even in this documentary, even the people who work on the show, they're like, oh, it was just, there was no viewers. The viewers weren't going up or nothing. I know shows, I mean, Batwoman right now is existing on nothing. And I guarantee Arrested Development had at least their numbers, and they're keeping Batwoman on. I know it's not going to last after 3 years because the ratings are appalling, but I think the ratings were better than that for Arrested Development. But Arrested Development, at least it was at least it was an intelligently written show. It was good. But in this documentary, they try to blame the Midwestern people kind of for its faults. It's kind of strange. They're like, well, the reason why the show failed is like the people in the Midwest, they weren't watching it. They're kind of poking, and then this is made like way before current politics. So I can understand something like this being said with current politics, but about 2010, 2011, 12, whenever this documentary is made, those politics didn't really. I mean, everybody's always kind of been anti, right wing as far as left wingers go, but that's kind of what they're trying to say. So all these right wing Midwesterners are not watching this show. Well, the show wasn't aimed at it. The show wasn't aimed at you. I mean, the show was not aimed at the Midwest. The show was clearly aimed at, aimed at more liberal thinking people. The show don't make fun of people overtly, though. It's not that bad. It makes fun of more of the people that it's about. It's making fun of more like rich people who are stupid. It's kind of. I'm getting ready to show you guys Schitt's Creek in a minute. Schitt's Creek is a little bit of a rip off of Arrested Development, really. As far as the plot goes, the show itself is completely original as far as what's going on in it. But it's yeah, but other than that, the documentary's pretty good, though. Mitch Horowitz is good in it. I just didn't like the whole trying to blame the Midwest for it because that's not. I don't think that's why it ultimately failed. I think they're just trying to point a finger at something other than Fox because they're just so afraid of Fox. Everybody's afraid of Fox these days. People wouldn't be just because it's Fox, even associated with Fox News. They probably wouldn't care. It wouldn't matter, but. This next set, this is a 5-movie set. This is a Don Knotts collection, which I have the other Don Knotts collection over there on DVD. The reason why I bought this one, the other collection is a 4-disc set, and it's on flipper discs. These are all individual discs. There's multiple movies on some of the discs, as you can see there. But they all got single-sided, dual-layered discs, which is much nicer than the other flipper discs. And the packaging's a little cleaner. The other one was in a kind of a special box, but it was kind of rink-a-dink. It's kind of cheap cardboard. Yeah, but this one has The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, The Reluctant Astronaut, The Shakiest Gun in the West, The Love God, How to Frame an Egg. I don't think the other one didn't have How to Frame an Egg on there. I think it had. I'm not sure if it had The Love God either. I'm not positive. I feel like there's one of the early movies this thing's missing. I'm trying to think of which one it is. He has another movie. I might be thinking about the Apple Dumpling Gang. I'm not sure if that's on the other set or not, but I think it's the one I'm thinking about. The Winged Beetle. This is a Fall, if you know what I'm talking about. Documentary. This is about they call it Fall, the fake death of Paul McCartney. I always find stuff like this very interesting, whether it's true or not. I have no idea. I'm getting some noise. Excuse me here for a second. I had to unplug the power cord. It causes that problem after a while. I think it's whenever the battery gets to a certain low point and it tries to start charging again, it starts throwing interference across the circuit board there. I don't know why it does that. But the wing beetle, it's just interesting. There's a lot of interesting information. You can take it how it is. It is interesting. It makes you think differently about like the cultism kind of tied into the Beatles stuff. If you look at it like that, and it might not be, it might just be coincidental. I still love the Beatles music, so I mean, it's interesting stuff. I mean, you can believe it or not. It's just fun. Sometimes conspiracies are just fun to follow. Even if you don't believe them, you don't have to believe them. If they're ridiculous or not. So, Mr. Max Mondo video. Have not watched this yet. Seems interesting. This guy was a writer. What is his name again? Mike. Let's see here. Michael O'Donoghue. This is basically a mishmash of SNL and who else was this? SNL and the National Lampoon's people. I think he's a writer for like National Lampoon's, and it's just I think this was supposed to be a special, almost like an Andy Kaufman-esque cop special they made. It was there was gonna be a hiatus for SNL during the summer, and they were gonna play this, and it didn't get played because it was just evidently crazy. Haven't watched it yet. Stuff like this is what I like to find on discs, because something like this will eventually be out of print and you'll never see it again on any format. And I like grabbing stuff like this. But there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things I don't own that like this on DVD that I wish I did. Back in the day, like in the early days when stuff came out, I either couldn't afford it or just didn't want to buy it, You just didn't want it at the time, didn't think it was special. And sometimes you don't ever think about stuff like that, especially in the early days whenever I knew I was becoming a collector, but I wasn't, nowhere near anything like this, in the early days, and I couldn't afford it in the early days, and now you look back on some things, and you're like, man, I wish I had this or that like that, and that's just how it goes in collecting. But one of these days, the market's gonna just get flooded with DVDs. I have a feeling, because people once they stop existing in like Walmarts and things like that, people are going to be like, oh shoot, and start selling them. That's what's going to happen, because everything will be streaming. They'll either stop, the major manufacturers will stop making players and the discs, and it'll go completely to the private market, the niche market, and nobody will know that there's still stuff being made. So hopefully one of these days that we'll be able to start picking up some things again. The market will get flooded with them, and there'll be plenty of things to buy out there in stores and on eBay. Hopefully people won't be gouging prices on eBay too, which they already do, and that's a discussion for another video. Here we go, Dead Man's Curve, the Janet Dean story. This is a really fun little movie. Another story about this, I'll try to go through it real quick. They sent me the first copy of this, exact same case. As you can see, it says widescreen. It says widescreen right there on the front. On the back here, it says special features. Well, the first disc they sent me, I pop it in, get ready to watch it. It comes up 4:3 aspect ratio, and the worst copy you've ever seen in your life. It looked like it was transferred from the worst. It looked like it had been somebody's it was copied off TV, and the worst VHS copy you've ever seen in your life. It was hilarious. So I sent him an email back saying, this isn't widescreen, or there's no special features on it. And he sent me this. The guy sent me an email back, strongly worded email, basically chastising me and saying, oh, you're gonna, this. I've searched long, far and wide for this copy of this, and I had to do everything and get this presentation. There's no, just giving me down the road, and I was like, just it was just this big long, this big long bullshit paragraphs of pointless talk that people who think they're smart, if somebody texts you a big long text and there's nothing, don't say anything, something you could have said, an intelligent person could say it in 3 sentences. They use like a whole damn paragraph to explain. It was kind of that. Just kept bullshitting about us. Well, after he sent me that, I was going, I'm gonna just send him. I wasn't gonna get mad. I was just gonna send him pictures of it off the screen copies of it before I could even send him to him. He sent me another email back. So, we pulled a copy off the shelves here and checked it, and you're right. Basically, he basically said I was right and apologized for talking to me. So I was cool with it, and I still sent him the photos and things, but that was pretty funny. It was pretty crazy, You don't have that happen too much. Somebody change their mind, but I was like, I'm not stupid here, I can see with 2 eyes. I'm not that dumb. He's like talking to me like I don't know what I was talking about. Like I'm. I wouldn't be buying movies from him if I wasn't a collector. Because if I was just some normie, I wouldn't be fucking even know who the hell you were. This is Mondo Hollywood. It's almost like the same title as the other one, but this is not Mondo. Mondo Hollywood was a psychedelic movie made back in the '60s, kind of surrounding the psychedelic scene, and I almost call it the it just surrounds the psychedelic scene in Hollywood and the Sunset Strip scene going on at this time. Just the characters around that. I bought it because the book I was reading talks about this movie in there and talks about some of the people that are interviewed in this movie. You can see the back here. I think there's Zappa on the back, and I don't know who these other people are, but it's should be interesting to watch. I haven't seen it before. One more DVD here. This is a set. I own some of these, and Blu-ray, but I just bought this because it was just an interesting multi-disc set from the Dusk and Dawn trilogy, and it has Full Tilt Boogie documentary on it. Kind of fun. It's just one of those sets. It's DVD though. I wish it was a Blu-ray, but it's just an interesting set. I got a couple of 4Ks here. I forgot to show you guys with the Blu-rays earlier. This is El Supermanarino 4K. Superman the movie on 4K. I haven't watched the 4K version of it. I literally just bought the Blu-ray set just a while back. I never had owned any of the original Superman movies on DVD. I thought I better do it, and I bought that. And then this came out, so I bought it too. So I don't really care. Next, they'll release that whole set that I bought up there on 4K, and then I'll be like, ah, shit. That's how it works. So my nose is starting to itch. I don't know why. And here's the New York Ripper on 4K. Movie I have not seen yet. It's supposed to be pretty good. Lucio Fulci. Most controversial horror film ever made. We'll find out. Got that big fucking sticker on there. Excuse me, I'm starting to curse a little bit more than I prefer to. Yeah, here's a movie that I think I'm gonna make a review on, even though there's been 1,000 reviews on this, and I've got a little bit of different take on this movie, but I'm not gonna say much about it right now because I think I am gonna make a review about it. But I bought it. I didn't see it on HBO Max because I end up literally the day that I signed up for HBO Max, this went off of HBO Max. Wonder Woman 1984. This is the steelbook. There's the back side of the steelbook. I just went ahead and bought it. And, production value-wise, this movie's pretty good. But other than that, it's shit but I'll elaborate in my video about my theories about this movie a little bit more. Some theories I haven't really heard. I bet I agree with a lot of the theories that I've heard, but I have a little bit different take on it. And it probably won't get any traction, but we'll see. One more steelbook here. This is the Blu-ray steelbook. Rad. You've seen earlier on a different video, I have the 4K version of this. I thought when I seen this for pre-order on Amazon, I was like, I better get that. That looks pretty awesome. I wish it had been a 4K steelbook from the 4K, but I assume this probably looks just as good as the 4K disc did. But yeah, this is way better of transfers that this movie probably ever deserved. This movie didn't even get DVD. It didn't even get put on a DVD. This is a classic movie. Well, it's a classic movie to me and the people who love this movie. I love this movie. I'm sure there's plenty of people that could care less, but I loved, I rode skateboard as a kid and BMX bikes, and I love this movie, and that's about all I can say about it. It's just a fun movie. If you've never seen it, you probably just take a gander at it. It's got Lori Loughlin's in it. I think it's her first movie. She probably don't claim to ever been in it either, because stupid people, they never claim their the movies that get them into it. Let me see here. What's his name? Yeah, Hal Needham. Excuse me. Hal Needham directed this movie. I think he directed Smokey and the Bandit, didn't he? And he was kind of a stunt coordinator and director, I think, throughout Hollywood, his career. And so Let's Watch got a lot of stunts in it, and he's kind of more of an action-oriented director. And, yeah, awesome movie. Mondo Steelbook. I don't know if that's just a company or that's a... They thought, oh, it's Mondo from the 80s. Yeah. Awesome. All right, we're going to get into some TV sets here, and we'll finish up here on part 2. This is a set I just got in today. It was this is one of them. It's Serial at Midnight's Amazon movie deal section that he brought up. This is the Dead Zone. $20 for this thing on Amazon right now. This is the full series. Anthony Michael Hall. This is a Stephen King book. I've never seen it, so I'm interested in watching it. So it looks kind of cool. It was nice to get a whole set for that cheap, so I went ahead and ordered it. This is another DVD set that I picked up real cheap. It's probably available on Blu-ray to some degree, but this was the entire series for like $25 at Best Buy. This is The Americans. It's another one of those thick plastic cases. I don't know why I love those so much, but I do. When the whole series are in them. The only one that Walmart hasn't finished selling, or they haven't released through Walmart at least, is the Beverly Hillbillies. They've only got series like 1 through 4 or 5. They've only got the seasons 1 through 5 or 1 through 4 or something like that. They've never completed that. It's odd because Beverly Hillbillies don't have a complete series arc on DVD. It's really strange. I don't know if they just didn't sell, but I don't believe that, because I always see like these little special edition Beverly Hillbillies coming up, and I don't know why. I'll show you what I'm talking about if I can get a hold of it easy. And yeah, this set right here. Yeah, seasons 1 through 4. Yeah, but I always call these Walmart sets because they come from Walmart generally. It's where you find them at. You can usually find them on eBay afterwards or even cheaper. But, yeah, I want, I assume that what they'll end up doing is, I have a feeling they're going to end up putting out a set like, kind of like they did on Gunsmoke, a big gigantic set. Because it's just kind of a historic series. It's such a historic series, it don't make sense. There's never been a complete series collection of it. If we end the run of physical media and don't have all of Beverly Hillbillies, it's going to be a crime, because you got all of They have all. I think you can buy, for the most part, you can buy most of all of Green Acres. Well, you can get all of Green. I have all of Green Acres, the whole series, but I don't have all of Petticoat Junction. I have a few, and I don't. I think you can buy all of Petticoat, but you can't buy all of, as far as actual official released Beverly Hillbillies. You can't buy them on Blu-ray or DVD. Here's another Serial at Midnight recommendation. On sale by Voltron. Complete series. Blast from the past and kids stuff. Pretty awesome. That's why I like following Serial at Midnight. Sometimes I don't like his reviews too much, but I follow him on Patreon. I subscribe to him on Patreon because he sends out these deals on there, and there's usually really good. They're really great insider things that I miss and I don't get. So it's almost like a deal paying, giving him like $7 a month to get massive deals on DVDs. So it's stupid, I know, but here's Wings. This is another one of these Mill Creek sets. This is a Mill Creek set I call them the hard box thin flapper sets. They got a flapper top on them that's real thin, and they have that little thin flapper top on them, and this real hard, nice hard bodied box on them. They're the craziest thing. They're kind of cool, because once you take the cellophane off, that top don't stay down very easily. It wants to pop up, so it's the stupidest design ever. But it's in a hard box. It don't make any sense. And then they have the sleeves inside here that are, they're like the generic, like pull out sleeve boxes. I mean, they spare. I mean, that's why they can pass on the deals to them. You can buy these for nothing. I mean, and I'd rather be able to get the complete series like this than not, and then have to pay like a fortune for a whole series in a big, nice, elaborate box. That for a show like this, I could care less about doing that for. Beverly Hillbillies is one thing, but. Real Ghostbusters. This here is, it says on the back, it says on the front here, over 100 episodes. I don't know if this is a complete series or what, because it don't say complete series on it. But as far as I know, this is the only way you can get this, at least in this kind of amount of collection. So I assume this is everything, but whether it's in any kind of order or seasonal order or not, I have no idea. 10 discs filled with ghost-busting adventures. Yeah, it doesn't say if it's a complete series or in the order or anything. I don't know how many episodes they made of this, so. Another Mill Creek Flapper Box series. I just make up names for these boxes, this type of packaging, so. Nose and mustache is itching whenever I get doing this. I apologize. I'm not going to edit it out, though. Coach. Fun little show. Jerry Van Dyke. Craig T. Nelson. Really funny show as far as I remember. I'll probably go back and watch it now and be like, oh, this is stupid. But no. I used to watch this back in the day when it was on. Silicon Valley. The complete series. As far as right now goes, this is the only way you can get the complete series. That's why I bought it on DVD. I think you can buy some standalone Blu-rays, but you can't buy the complete series. This will be one. This will be something I will rebuy on Blu-ray if it ever comes out on Blu-ray. So, Silicon Valley. Fun show. Mike Judge from Beavis and Butthead. Really funny. Really funny stuff, yeah. Last but not least, I talked about it earlier. Schitt's Creek. Lionsgate. This is from Lionsgate here. I'm all over the place with that. Okay, there we go. Schitt's Creek. Complete series. This would probably be another one I'd probably rebuy on Blu-ray if it ever comes out on Blu-ray. It looks pretty good on DVD. It's not horrible, but um, I did talk about it earlier in part one, but I'll show you. I'll show you the rest of. I'll show you guys the rest of these laser discs as well. Absent-minded professor. These are more than likely. I haven't really looked over all this stuff. These are more than likely. I'm not a big fan of Disney, if you'll find. See this? I don't. I replace all these slips like that. These are just these cheap slips that just go around the disc like that. I replace them with actually full sleeve with that plastic on the inside of them. I replace all my discs with that and put a plastic sleeve over top of everything. But I replace these. I buy these on Laserdisc just because if anything would be worth any money, it'd probably be Disney. And these are just kind of cool. These Disney Presents discs. I might already had Absent Minded Professor. I think I rebought it, but when I seen it, it was cheap. I just rebought it again, so it's a good clean copy. Yeah, I'll go ahead and show you this. This is one of my favorite shows. This is the only one of these I actually have. This is The Prisoner, the general episode. I think it's the only one. Yeah, episode 6. I think each Laserdisc only contained like one episode. I could go online and buy them all. I could go on eBay and probably buy them all for $100, but it's funner sometimes. Just I like waiting to go to stores and find stuff. Like with my Laserdisc, I try to do that. I've bought a lot on eBay, and I quit doing that because you generally end up paying a lot more because you can go around and find a whole lot, and sometimes in stores, in a few stores around the region, I know where to go to find them at and pick out a few at a time, and I like hunting them down like that more than going on eBay and paying double or triple what you end up finding them for in this little store. So, Mom and Pa Kettle, the movie. This is let's see. Yeah, this is a double disc. Ooh, this has got this has got like really nice insert. They're like almost like a cloth like. I didn't even pay attention to that before, but the inner sleeves are like cloth like. They're weird. This is when you see Disco Vision on these covers like that, that's the original form of Laserdisc. They were called Disco Vision. The very first form. When they first started coming out by not Pioneer and stuff, they called them Disco Vision discs, and usually the Disco Vision discs are the ones that got rot in them because they were manufacturing their factory. They had converted their manufacturing facility from like an old woodworking where they made the cabinets for old electronic equipment. They converted that factory or that little warehouse space into their Laserdisc manufacturing, and I guess I don't know if I don't understand how you could get contamination. You would think you'd thoroughly clean the area before you started manufacturing, but apparently it was a dirty facility, so a lot of the early manufacturing of Laserdiscs were contaminated, and that's why you had a lot of disc rot. Hear about disc rot, Laserdisc getting it. I've got a bunch of Laserdiscs, and I don't think I've got anything with disc rot on them. Not really. Nothing that's ruined them. I've never even witnessed a ruined Laserdisc with disc rot. You have to have really bad conditions to have disc rot. I won't show you all these next ones because I got four episodes, or I'm not sure if there's multiple episodes on it. Yeah, there's four episodes per there's 4 episodes per disc. But I got four of these, so 4 times 4 is 16. 16 episodes of The Lone Ranger. I think I covered up The Lone Ranger, though, just then. I apologize. Yep, see, The Lone Ranger. Yep. Didn't have any of those before. That's cool when you pick them up like that. There's another Walt Disney Presents. I always get Walt Disney on the back of these. Sword and the Rose. See, this is an oddball. Walt Disney Presents. You know, you don't hear about movies like this too much that Disney makes. Just people in the know, you know. So this is oddball stuff here. You know, this is the kind of stuff it's probably sought after. I can't believe it. Don't I mean people just don't collect laser discs. There's no the reason why people don't collect them is for the obvious reasons because people don't want to invest in trying to get the players or matter. You know, if you buy a player, it could go bad. You know, I have the potential to be able to fix it. I went to school for electronics, so I have the potential to maybe be able to fix it if I have one that goes down, if you can find the parts to fix it. The last one, Woody Allen here. Alan Alda, Manhattan Murder Mystery. It's a good movie. 19, see what year it was. It's in the 80s, but I can't remember what years this was. Yeah, you know, just a fun little movie there. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. This was part 2, but yeah, I think I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I always got so many ideas, and I have another video in the can. I'm deciding if I really want to put it together or not. It's an interesting little concept, but I'm definitely going to do that review of Wonder Woman, and I just don't know what to do to really latch on here. I'm trying to do different things. I'm just trying to do different things and not do like one thing week after week after week. I'm trying to do different things, different formats, and I know you're not supposed to really do that. You're kind of supposed to latch on to one thing here on eBay or YouTube, and but I'm kind of doing this as a hobby. If I get enough exposure to get monetized, that's fine. If I don't, that's all right. As long as I end up eventually having maybe a couple hundred people follows me, you know, that'd be awesome. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Low IQ Media. Check me out not on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I'm personally on Facebook, but I don't use it ever. I hate Facebook. I just don't like the format. It's another one. It's like Twitter. It's like whatever. But I am on Twitter, Low IQ Media, and you can find me on Instagram at Low IQ Media. Instagram, where I've got my biggest following right now. But yeah, come on over to Instagram, Twitter. I'm going to eventually get on stuff like Odyssey and things like that. I've got accounts on some of these other different ones, but I haven't started uploading videos yet. So whenever I move over to like Minds and things like that, I'll let you guys know. Well, until the next time, I will talk to you later. Bye now.